Capcom has never been the biggest developer of shoot-'em-ups. Oh, they've had their successes, and they keep dipping their toe in the pool, but their biggest shooter franchise almost felt like an afterthought to them. Section Z is another one of those one-off experiments from Capcom, and the result is pretty good, just like most Capcom shoot-'em-ups. The original Section Z was an arcade game, and it got its title because the hero had to shoot their way from Section A to Section Z in order to win. The big feature of the arcade game was that you could hit a button to spin around and shoot behind you. When Capcom brought Section Z home as their first Famicom Disk System release, they didn't really do a direct port of the arcade game. I think at this point they had already learned that that wasn't a great idea. Instead, they reworked it from the ground up as an experience built specifically for consoles. And I think it's really good at that. Instead of 26 sections that you progress through linearly, now the game is a maze. You complete a short shooting level, and then are given a choice of paths. And there are 60 of these areas. And the optimal route through the game has you play 52 stages, although about a third of those are repeats as you have to backtrack to a path that has been opened up. When you arrive at the end of an area, usually you're given the option of going up or down. Sometimes one of these paths are sealed with a red light, and this will kill you if you try to enter it. The way to unlock these paths is to blow up the generator that's generating the force field, and naturally that means its own long branching route. If you're not playing this game with a guide in hand, I strongly recommend making a map as you go. The map isn't that confusing, but you're going to need it. As for the controls, Section Z on the Disk System eliminated the turnaround button that the arcade version had, and now if you press B you shoot behind you, and if you press A you shoot in front of you. And what this means is that there's a lot more threats coming at you from the back. You also don't necessarily get destroyed in one hit. Your heroic Cosmo Protector has energy, and this drops down as you get shot. If it hits 0, then you get yanked back to the section that acts as the checkpoint for that region. So once you complete Section 20, you'll get yanked back to Section 21, and after you complete Section 40, you'll get yanked back to Section 41. Losing all of your energy is also fatal, so don't do that. You instantly die if you collide with another ship or get trapped by terrain, though that also costs you a large chunk of your energy. Energy is replenished by picking up capsules that are dropped by enemies, and these give you 3 points each. There's also hidden rooms in the game that will give you a lot more energy back. Hidden rooms can be found in certain stages, and they appear when you shoot an invisible spot. Entering the flashing place that appears, which you're often already on top of, will take you to a hidden room. There are a ton of power-ups that you can collect, and they're not necessarily automatically used. The speed capsules are, and there's at least 4 levels of speed as you collect additional ones. I found that 1 makes you go fast enough, and collecting 2 or more makes you uncontrollable, but you've got options. The weapon power-ups go to a bar at the top of the screen and are represented by a letter. Every time that you tap right on the D-pad, the letter selection at the top of the screen rotates. When you've highlighted what you want, hit select, and then you'll switch to that gun. The F is the Flash Buster. It's a 3-way shot. The M is the Mega Smasher, and it's a wide beam that penetrates targets. And the B is the Barrier Shield, which can absorb a certain number of incoming bullets. It is possible to use the shield with the other 2 weapons, and if you collect another symbol for that weapon while you're already using it, then the weapon will power up. The Mega Smasher will become a spread shot, while the Flash Buster bullets will move faster. On top of all of this, there are one-shot super bullets that you can get. You activate these by pressing A and B simultaneously, and the symbol for which one is available will appear in the middle of the screen. Collide with it to activate it at the cost of a bit of your energy. There's a crash ball that will orbit around you and destroy enemies, a flash bomb that will destroy all enemies on the screen, and a mega missile that will pass through everything, doing heavy damage. The plot of the game is pretty standard as far as science fiction shoot-'em-ups go. There's a giant alien fortress heading towards Earth, and only one soldier, the Cosmo Protector, can be sent in to stop it. You do get cute little cutscenes every time you make some progress at least. As it is a disk system game, you're given 3 save slots here, and progress is saved at those checkpoints, so again, when you reach Area 20 and Area 40. But your maximum energy upgrades and other special items that you've managed to collect are saved. Section Z doesn't seem to have a very big following in Japan, or at least I couldn't find a lot of people with memories of it. That might be a result of it getting released on the disk system, or even great games struggled to get noticed. And yeah, Section Z is a delight. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here, and while there's a lot of stuff that gets repeated, it's always getting rearranged and remixed into something different, a new challenge with every area. And even if you're good at staying alive, you still have to play the energy counter, keeping it up long enough to reach the next milestone before you get sent all the way back. There's a lot of cool things happening in Section Z. It all makes for a really fun twist on the shoot 'em up.